when you're outbound selling a domain to a company with hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue or a publicly traded company, how often is it that they recognize the value before that has been built into a company like Michael's? So say if you're just outbound selling VPN.com and there is no company behind it. I mean, I see that frequently.
It's very industry specific. So certain industries are more adept to the benefits and value and ultimately the threat that's represented by the exact match domain. Perfect example is VRBO with vacationrentals.com, right? They were growing at an extremely rapid pace. They were sort of first mover advantage, at least at scale. And they saw that the only avenue for another incumbent in the travel industry, specifically the hospitality industry, specifically the hotel booking industry, the only way for an incumbent, Expedia, to come and attack their business to get market share or have any way of gaining traction or detracting from the rapid growth that VRBO is experiencing was to come into the market with vacationrentals.com, because that is the name. That is what the consumer is searching for. That is what is going to resonate with a consumer in a market, particularly in a market where there's very little brand power. I've said this before. I think we talked about it in the past with cabinets.com and, any industry where there's not a lot of brand recognition, these types of domain names have even more power. So the average Joe couldn't tell you the name of a, VPN company. I think the only one I can think of, I've got ExpressVPN on my computer, but like the only one I could really, until I bought that about a year ago, the only company I could have told you about was Hide My Ass. And the only reason is because they have such a great name and I'm a vulgar person. And so Hide My Ass just, it stood out to me. But other than that, most people, the average Joe has no clue. They couldn't tell you a single company in the VPN space. And so if I'm like, oh shit, okay, I need a VPN, I'm gonna go do a search and VPN.com pops up, it's like, okay, well, I don't know who any of these other people are. Even if they're the largest companies in the space, I don't know them. They're not a household name. So I'm going to trust VPN.com. And I think there's been multiple studies, including a large study done by Microsoft, which supports that. Says that, in all things being equal, a person does a search. They've got, 10 things on page one to, disqualifying paid search. But they got 10 things to choose from. They're going with the one, either the household brand or with the exact match keyword that resonates with their search. So, whether it's VPN.com or, cabinets.com or, there's a little bit more brand recognition in something like car insurance. But even so, people have such a strong distrust of the insurance industry. They're looking for an unbiased review of insurance carriers in order to select the best insurance for them. Or they're just simply going to their, whoever provides their life insurance or home insurance, they're going to just go back to that same party to get the other types of insurance so that maybe they can get some kind of package discount. But for the most part, these types of things lend themselves to a very strong position for the exact match domain name. One thing I'll say is, despite the fact that, all that we're talking about here, there has been a credible devaluation of exact match domain names over the last 3 years, I'd say 4 years. That's pretty well known in the domain community, in the search community, in the marketing community. But it doesn't change consumer behavior. So while it may change an exact match domain name's impact for search engine optimization, it does not change consumer behavior. So all things being equal, if you've got the exact match domain name matched up against, let's say 4 other, really top 5 are the only thing that matter in search. So you got 4 other competitors with names which are not household names. Consumer, I don't remember exactly what the percentile is, but it's a very high percentile probability that the consumer is going to click on the exact match domain for trust purposes.
And I mean, that's what it sounds like, Michael, you're saying, especially what percentage did you say of your visitors are coming through direct type-in, not even through the search?
We get, those are typically your best visitors. And I know Drew just spilled a lot of knowledge there, but he definitely unpacked something that we're already recognizing. And that's specifically if our brand is in the top 10 results, or let's say for a moment we're competing with other PPC ads, generally our URL is going to outperform their URL click-through rate by copious amounts. I mean, by 3 to 5 times. So your click-through rate on
customer acquisition based on CPC is also less than theirs is. Most likely.
So I'm getting more clicks at a cheaper cost than any of my competitors, and I can say that with near 100% certainty because of what Drew exactly just said, just the consumer behavior of how they process a search, how they process their search results, and what URLs they instinctively trust. This is what I think so many people don't understand about exact match domains, that the value, sure, it's in, owning the exact match domain, but really the mechanics and advertising in it are where a lot of the benefits are, because the efficiency of your marketing spend, I like to say, for every $1 I spend as an exact match domain holder, another brand has to spend $10 to accomplish the exact same result from a perception standpoint.